I'm Robert Mukondiwa, and this is Diplomatic Passport, where we give you your daily weekday updates on current affairs, answering the questions which matter the most to you, our valued viewers. Today on the show, we're going to be speaking to bloggers on what has come of the digital space during this age of COVID-19. But firstly, let's look at Zimbabwe's COVID-19 cases as at the latest data released by the Ministry of Health and Childcare. So Zimbabwe now has 463 confirmed cases, including 63 recoveries and 4 deaths. 62 new cases have been recorded, and these include returnees, 24 from South Africa, 5 from the United States of America, 4 from Zambia, also 4 from Lesotho, 3 from Botswana, and 2 from Namibia, and 20 local cases. Now these people have all been isolated. Now to date, the cumulative number of people tested stands at 61,413 people. Of course, Harare is still the epicenter with 143 cases, followed by Bulawayo, which now has 47 cases of COVID-19. Now on our show, we always speak of the need to prioritize our frontline workers during this era of COVID-19, as they're the ones who face the most risk. Now, the Police Commissioner General Godwin Matanga has sent out a cry for PPEs. These are those personal protective equipment that we've always been harping on about. Now, he said his unit has now been exposed to COVID-19 as they have been left without a task, with that task of handling dead bodies, which sometimes would have been neglected by health workers out of the fear of catching COVID-19. Now, let's hear Matanga speak.
We are confronted with a situation where, whether you like it or not, it is our responsibility to look after dead bodies and also to take them to respective mortuaries. Whether the body is COVID-19 positive or not, we got no choice. You have to take that body to the mortuary without the PPEs. We have experienced situations where a body is suspected to be COVID-19 positive. The medical staff will run away and the police will be there. Without the PPEs, unfortunately, as you know, or unfortunately, we work with orders. We will order our officer to take the bodies to the mortuary. So this is a situation also where we have exposed our officers, and very knowingly that it is dangerous. But what else would you do at the end of the day?
Now, that was the crisis of PPEs, with the police there being spelt out by the Commissioner General Godwin Matanga. Now in the arts, Amapiano Queen Shasha, who is who's actually eyeing a Black Entertainment Television Award, says she has a crush on Tammy Moyo and Enzo Aisho. Yes, she crushes on the two in a musical way because she wants to have collaborations with both of those artists. And of course, as you will know, Tammy is also riding a purple patch, and so is Enzo Aisho. And she spoke to ZTN of her need, her love, her affection for at least working with these two artists. Let's hear what she had to say.
Right now, I vibe with Tammy. I love Tammy. I love her voice, crazy voice. And just for the vibes, I actually enjoy, is it Enzo Ishao? Is it? Yeah. Like, I won't lie, like Zim Dancehall is a force out there in Zimbabwe. And I mean, my sisters, my family, myself, we've always enjoyed that vibe. But yeah, the person I really would like to work with is Tammy. She's nice. She's awesome.
Now in the house today, I have 2 bloggers, and we were talking, of course, about the arts, and this is a very great passion of ours here at the Diplomatic Passport. And we're so happy that you would come and join us and speak to us about being a blogger in this age of COVID-19. Welcome to the show. Introduce yourselves and tell us what blog you run. I'll start with the lady.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Faith Panache Jorofura, known on social media as Faith Panache. My blog is faithpanache.co.zw. I write mostly about relationships, dating, and almost my everyday life. And maybe when I'm too excited, sometimes I may write about sex.
When you do, and what gets you too excited? Perhaps we may want to excite you today.
No, I don't think today is a good day, but
it is. It's rather cold.
It's just a thought. I guess it's on days where I feel more confident to write about it. And I'm sure sometimes before I even post it, I actually tweet or write a Facebook post that, you know what, I was really brave to do this. Don't come at me with whatever you have to say. I just had to do it.
Oh, well, I hope as time goes on today, we will thaw you off the chill that's out there, and we'll get you excited. And now the gentleman.
My name is Tediwa. Hello, everyone. I run a blog called tediwakunzekweguta.wordpress.com. It simply talks about my experiences as a little person, and by little person I mean a person living with dwarfism. So it's sort of like a comical relief into how I see the world and how I perceive people doing or saying things towards me that I find hilarious, sometimes offensive, but I bring it sort of like in a comical but educative way. So it's sort of like, it's basically my biography, but in a way that engages people and seeks for people to understand what dwarfism is all about. And
I find it very offensive that you would say little people. I'm actually in shock myself, but you confidently say, well, I talk about little people, and I'm like, sorry, what? How do you to craft your thought processes to say this is no longer, you know, offensive, and how do you galvanize and strengthen yourself as a person to talk about such issues without feeling offended yourself?
It's basically, little person is basically a politically correct term of referring to people with dwarfism. So you find that they are quite, are
you telling me that is the most polite way people can...
It sounds like someone teasing.
Actually, sometimes it does, but it's when you actually refer to a person with dwarfism like that, they actually won't take offense. But
I like how you say they actually won't take offense.
Yes, even me.
Okay,
even me. I won't take offense in that. And also, so I find that it's actually a topic that I'm actually going to discuss a little bit more. That now that you're probably the 100th person to say that, I'm like, oh, okay, fine. You know what? I think I've got to discuss this a bit more and really explain what the term little person means and how we sort of like have taken it to be sort of like our identity, and to make it okay, and to make the conversation a bit more comfortable for both individuals, for both little people and average height people, because you find that a lot of people say, oh, normal height. I'm like, no, it's not that we're not normal. You're average height. We are little people.
Absolutely.
So those terms, they're the ones we sort of like try to discuss and make it okay for people to be okay with.
And I'm going to come back to you about that in popular culture.
Okay.
But I hear you say I'm the 100th person to ask, so I hope I get a prize for that. I mean, 100. But coming back to you, what are your fears? Because we were talking earlier on about Twitter, for example, being a hard hat area, and how people were actually praying for you today when you came here, and they were scared that you may get emotionally vandalized. How do you manage the delicate you, the delicate writer who's exposing the very, you know, intimate issues about yourself, and that person who can get stuff thrown at them? How do you manage to balance that?
It's very difficult, and sometimes it can actually bring you down if you're not strong enough. But it's something that I tell myself that if I have to do this, then I have to get it done. So even if I'm getting scared or worried about what is going to be thrown at me on social media, I have to tell myself that I'm bigger than this. I still have to do it. Like, if I die, I die. That type of thing. So
when you say you're bigger than this, you're not being offensive to the gentleman, I presume.
I'm also a little person, by the way. I'm also a little person. Yeah. The difference is that I take offense if someone says you're a little person.
Oh, no, that's why you're shocked. You're, goodness, what are you doing to us? Well,
so I try and tell myself that, you know what, I'm probably bigger than this problem. It's nothing. It's nothing. So yeah.
But what's the worst that's been thrown at you, for example?
At the moment, nothing.
Really? So
I
what are you scared of? If you've not
I don't want it to happen to me at all.
Well, that's the area you're trudging. That's the area you're walking in.
I do not know how I would react if I would break down, become emotional, take down all my socials, delete my blog. I don't know how I would react. So I really do not want to go through it at all. So it's really scary to even have people worry about you. So now I'm thinking, am I that delicate? Am I very emotional? Am I that person that can just easily break out and lose control? So I try and hold it in, put myself together and get things done. And
COVID-19, certainly you had a certain amount of traffic to your blogs. But now, since everybody was at one time in total lockdown and at home, that obviously impacted on your views, that people are now, walking the streets of social media a lot more, and that means you're getting a lot more readership. What has that done to you as writers? To you, for example, you're seeing more and more people interacting, more and more people talking. How does that put a bit of fuel in you as you write, to think, what, I'm getting that urge to write more and more because more and more people are reading and appreciating?
I think for me, it has been sort of like the total opposite, in the sense that I've actually toned down on writing, because now I'm thinking, oh, I've got time, I'll write tomorrow. Oh, I've got time, I'll write tomorrow. Then tomorrow comes, I've got time, I'll write tomorrow. So it has been a mindset shift to sort of like get myself back into that zone where I can then constantly write, because my writing came from experiencing interactions with people. So it could be an interaction, like for example, it could be an interaction with an overzealous pastor who can come and say, oh, I saw the two of you, meaning me and my fiance, we're both little people. So I saw the two of you, and you know what? When I saw you on Friday, we have an all-night prayer. Why don't you come to our service and get prayed for so that you can grow tall? I'm like, oh!
You're joking?
No, I'm not joking.
Somebody thought they could pray for you too.
Yes.
Grow tall. That is mean.
So it's things like that I then say, okay, fine, you know what? I've got to write about this. I've got to tell people that, okay, fine, you know what? I don't need your prayers. I don't need your prayers, but I definitely don't need to grow tall, because I'm okay with where I am. I've been okay with where I am and stuff like that. So it's, for me, it is that interaction and those things that I constantly expect every time I get into town. I'm like, okay, fine, I'm no longer getting those. So you know what? Let me chill and sort of like reinvent how I can then start to write again. So yeah.
And you, what of course, traffic coming to you, more traffic, pressure to write, the excitement that more and more people who otherwise would not have known your blog have come to your blog because of COVID-19.
Yes, and also during the lockdown, should I say, it actually gave me time to work on my blog and polish it up.
So you're not the lazy guy.
No, I felt the pressure. I'm sure almost everyone was feeling the pressure, because you'd see posts about, oh, if you do not come out of this lockdown without learning a new skill or a new course and things like that. So I felt the pressure almost. I'm at home. I'm not doing anything. I need to post something all the time. So I have a friend of mine that actually introduced me to blogging, Tembi Terry Zulu. Okay. Yes. So she told me sometimes I'd have a writer's block, and I'm thinking, dude, I haven't blogged in like a week. I'm worried. What should I do? And she says, you do not need to think too hard. Content is everywhere. So I'd sit in my room alone, and I'm thinking, okay, how's the day going today? What am I feeling? What am I thinking? So at some point I even wrote about spending the whole day with no underwear on. It felt refreshing, and I wrote a blog about it.
You've just excited the gentleman. It's okay. Is your fiance watching? I hope not. But you've just excited the gentleman.
So yeah, content is everywhere. So which is why sometimes I don't really try to limit myself to a certain topic or genre on my blog. I read about everything and anything.
When you're feeling like Zodo Abantu, you go that way.
That way. So but then I did get a lot of traffic to my blog, But now the one challenge I faced was data. We had the data going up, and you're at home, you're trying to save, you're trying to manage your finances, and you're trying to blog. You're trying to show that you're still alive online. But it has been great. I've actually learned a lot about myself and writing, and here we are.
Absolutely. And I wanted to come back to you about popular culture, especially because pop culture affects us a hell of a lot. And I'm definitely going to go Game of Thrones on you. Seeing a character that you identify with in terms of you being, and God should forgive me, little person.
Yes, there we go.
I'm finding it very difficult to call you that. You really need to blog about that so that I feel a lot better about what that term is. It's
I'll definitely
preposterous
do that.
if you ask me, but fine, we'll use it for today until I find some. I'm probably going to invent something else. Yeah, as we go, and not only seeing a character you identify with physically, but having that person show that they can be witty, brainy, and have millions of people fall in love with that character. If you ever doubted yourself, what did that do to yourself, seeing that sort of mirror image or reflection, for example?
First of all, growing up myself, I never once doubted who I was, because I grew up in an environment where I was allowed to thrive. So seeing Peter Dinklage in each and every one of his movies sort of like reinforced every ideology that I had about people with dwarfism. So you find that a lot of people with dwarfism, they are either subject to ridicule in movies, but Peter Dinklage never does any of those roles. So to me, it said, you know what you're doing, whenever you say no, it's normal. Because a lot of people have come to me and said, oh, we want you to be in our music video simply because of Gede. I'm thinking, no disrespect to him, but I'm not a dancer simply because I've got dwarfism. I'm a photographer. If you want my services, hey, I'm a blogger. If you want me to write about you, hey, come, I'll give you my services. But this other service, simply because I'm a person with dwarfism, it doesn't work like that. So it has sort of like reinforced the confidence that I had that, you know what, I'm on the right path. I'm doing good. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say yes to things that you really feel passionate about.
I perfectly understand you. They'll look at me and say, oh, you're the dog guy. We're looking for a gardener on our film. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not going to be the gardener.
So that's how.
Why are you laughing at my complexion though?
I'm not laughing at your complexion.
Okay.
So that's how I've sort of like, that's how I see representation like that in movies. So you find that it's now because of what he has managed to do that you also find other actors and actresses with dwarfism doing major roles in Hollywood and stuff like that. So it's something that I wish could happen in Zimbabwe. You know, like, give me an intelligent role. You know, when you're giving me a script, give me a presidential role, give me an ambassador role, and see if I can't take it. So yeah, it's things like that.
Oh, perfect. And your fears going forward, we all are, if we're going to get out of the age of COVID or out of this space, what has this space of lockdown, of the new normal, of the disruption, what has it taught you as a person and as a personality?
I think it has taught me that I can actually balance my work, and I can work from home. Oh yes. Though I hated it so much. Yes. Yes, with no underwear on. But also it has taught me that I can learn more skills. You need to learn more skills.
He doesn't want to learn more skills.
No.
I
actually learned quite a few skills during the lockdown.
What did you learn?
I now keep chickens. I now planted garlic. I now sell peanut butter. So, hey,
Well done.
I'm coming home.
So it has taught me that you do not need to wait for certain situations to learn stuff. Like during lockdown, I cannot say we had nothing to do, but we were at home. So that's when I actually realized that I do not need to be stuck at home to do certain things. Every day is an opportunity to do something. So I don't think I'm really going to struggle much if this comes to an end. I think I'm actually going to be a better person after.
And I'll tell you on my end, this whole idea of going to town is like the most horrible thing. And lockdown taught us that we can actually have a decent day at home and actually achieve a lot more as writers, as creatives, as bloggers than, you know, I'm a retired blogger myself, I'm on parole, so I totally understand some of these things. But of course, I've not been a blogger in the age of COVID, and this is something we really wanted to talk to you guys about. Some of our viewers, and I'm getting your comments, we're expecting Shadaya. Of course, Shadaya was supposed to be here, and because of a slight crisis we had, we couldn't have him in studio. Instead, we pondered to have him over the telephone. And we ran a very quick poll, and a lot of you guys said you'd rather have him in the studio. So of course, we're having him in the studio on Monday. So that's perfectly rescheduled because you guys said, nah, bring him in the flesh, not on the telephone. Because on the telephone, it's as good or as bad as reading him on Twitter or just seeing his little clips. So we will have an exclusive with Shadaya in the studio, of course. And it's very unfortunate. You guys really wanted autographs from Shadaya. So, sorry, why are you looking at me like that? You're not the most excited people, but anyway, I'll get him to autograph, and I'll post the autograph to you guys because I know I've shattered your dreams. I've been really privileged to have you guys here.
Thank you.
Going forward, of course, we're going to be focusing. We're really on arts because a lot of people out there, or a lot of our viewers, have survived because people like you, writers, artists, we do the garamba. They've been entertaining us in our era of madness, and we've been getting out of our madness because we've been reading you guys, because we've been watching Vanamacheso, Vanastana in Muniwa Hood here, Jeezy, Noble Styles. You guys have gotten us entertained, and we've stayed sane because of you guys. And we're just hoping that as we proceed with Diplomatic Passport, where we're looking at COVID and mental health, because this has really impacted a lot of people's mental health, and some of the things that have helped ease that are the things that you do. We hope we're going to have this big get-together as time goes by to bring all those elements, you know, people like, so maybe from the start, from this guy to that guy, or from, dare I say, from Noble Styles to you, because, and everybody in between. It feels so good. You know what? It feels so good to actually talk to somebody about being a little person and not feel awkward. Yeah. Because a lot of times we've got a lot of questions that we want to ask, and you opened up, and I'm feeling very comfortable.
Yeah, and I feel like people who are watching now will feel comfortable.
Yeah,
when they see you.
And also, I think just to sort of like make it easy, the whole of October is Dwarfism Awareness Month. Okay. So we usually say, you know what? Any question that you have, no matter how awkward and weird, please shoot. We'll have you in October, but of course we'll have you even earlier because it's been an absolute pleasure having you guys. You're quite a beautiful spirit and a beautiful soul. And of course, we've always been meeting and working, but I've never asked some of these questions. But thank you guys. In the interest of time, we certainly enjoy the fact that you came here, and we hope to see you here on Diplomatic Passport as we go forward, because I'm stamping your diplomatic passports and you're leaving, you're getting off the plane today, but you're keeping those diplomatic passports because you'll be back again. Thank you so much. Well, that's all for today, but keep your contributions coming to my Twitter handle at ZimRobbie, that's ZIMROBBIE, and my email address on robinkundiwa@ztn.co.zw. And until we've got Shadaya on Monday, actually we've got a very, very exciting show on Monday as well, because we've got Poyo from Ghana. Some of you know him as the gentleman who is the GOAT. He's a GOAT meh. And he's going to be speaking to me from Ghana, live from Ghana, about that song that has broken the internet, I'm a GOAT meh, as well as new stuff that is released.
And certainly he's very excited to be talking to you guys here in Zimbabwe. So also watch out for Shaddai on Monday, and also watch out for the GOAT. He'll be bleating from here on a diplomatic passport while he's based in Ghana. So from me, Robert Mkundiwa, have a great weekend. Stay at home, stay safe, and don't forget to be nice to me, to her, to him, to everybody.